community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawFirm.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
My friend Margi Kyle. Margi Kyle, how are you?
I am fine. How are you? I'm a little hot, but I have the answer.
You are always equipped with the most fabulous resources. I don't know. Reese, can you get a shot of this amazing gadget that our friend Margi has? This is like a thing that hangs around your neck for air.
Yes.
I wished I had that Saturday night. Saturday night, I was at Lost Worlds at the Sister Hazel concert put on by the Kane Arts Center.
Okay.
And the illustrious Mayor Watchmen, his bride, had theirs. And I thought, I wonder where you get something like that. And here you walk in with it.
Yeah, Nina's Boutique.
Fabulous. That's a lovely thing. Nina, who is a sponsor of one of these amazing radio shows. Hello. Good job, Nina. That's awesome. And I would imagine
they're like $25 or something.
That's a fabulous investment in
And of
100-degree
course they have
weather.
sparkles. And you know, when you're hot, you got to sparkle too.
Got to get it, girl. You get it. That's awesome. What else is going on?
Well, I have another surprise for you.
Oh, you are full of surprises. What
I
you got?
am. Well, I couldn't get what I really wanted to get because we didn't have one. So I got the next best thing.
Oh, yay.
He's been my passenger for the last.
He's
he's
fabulous.
Still warm too. He needs a fan.
He's a honey bear.
So,
Thank you, Margi. That's
yes, let
so
your kids
special.
hug on that.
Oh, well, I'm just going to hold him for this part of the show. Then I think he will do a good job and help me. So for those of you who are listening and might be wondering, why is Margi giving me a gorgeous bear? At Hope House, our kids have seen so much trauma. And we one time had a huge monkey that you gave us that became sort of the sounding board and the safe space for them. So having this little fella here, I think he's got some new people to love on. And we're going to call him Hope House Bear. So thank you for that. I think that's lovely, and I think he's gonna heal some broken hearts.
Absolutely.
He's doing a fine job right now, so I'm okay with that for sure. And I would probably have to peel him out of our guest's hands if he knew what this little fellow was going to be doing today. So prepare yourself. We have some amazing guests today.
Oh, I cannot wait. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, they're speaking my love language here.
I
when
know.
you start talking about homeless or families that are in housing insecure. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Now we hope you're listening.
I can't even imagine.
No, in this hot weather, when as miserable as we are, right? But we get to go to our air-conditioned homes. I want you to be thinking about some of our housing insecure neighbors who don't have a cool place to go to, such as the woman that I interviewed this afternoon who is sleeping on a bench outside of one of the Ys. So remember that. It can always be worse.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But we make sure that you are just staying hydrated and drinking. And I know our guest today does a really good job of meeting the needs of those folks that are out there on the street. So we just want to make sure that everybody is paying attention to today's show and the fabulous guests that we have here today.
Well, and you need to come and play in my storage units
I
again.
do. I really do. We've got some new kids coming in. We have a mom with a 10-year-old autistic son who, if you can imagine, have been living on the street. They're transitioning in tomorrow. So we're excited about that. We have everything we need for them.
Christmas in July, I think we made over $10,000, and we got, I think, about 1,000 toys. So
this is such a generous community. We talk about this every single week of this Lake Norman area.
Yeah.
And we, before the show began, we're talking with our guests about how some of the people have come alongside of us in our affluent Lake Norman area to address our missions and to help us do what we do. And we cannot thank you enough or do what we do without your support. So because I'm able to hug on this little bear and sit here for an hour and have fabulousness, it's because of your generosity. So,
but that's what makes me happy.
Yeah, me too. And he's doing a really good job here. He's
and
really sweet.
We have now 3 storage units. So,
girl, you are on fuego.
Toys for Tots was next to us and always has been. but they give us all their toys after
Fabulous.
Christmas that they can't use anymore. And actually, they have the keys to our storage unit. We have the keys to theirs. So
It's
we
a
have a child in
mutually
need.
agreement.
Yeah, I don't care what the needs are. If we've got a toy that can fill that need, it's theirs.
That's incredible. So I think I announced last week that we did get CO on our 2 new builds last week. So on Saturday, we had a team from DCPC Church come out and they helped us make beds, hang pictures on the wall.
Okay,
So
are
I
my
have
pictures up yet?
not yet. They're not framed, but they're on their
Okay.
way. And so we have 2 brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes that are going to be meeting some of the needs of some lucky families and getting a do-over. And we're going to have the opportunity to transform their lives. So it was beautiful. We prayed over
Good.
the space.
Yeah.
We had some good laughs. And it was very personal to be making the bed of someone who's been living out on the streets
Absolutely.
or in
Yeah.
their car, because at Hope House, people don't understand, because when we bring them home and bring them into the house, we actually have to train them how to sleep in the bed and let them understand their worthiness of what it's like to lay their head down on a pillow and get
Yeah.
covered up. So these beds that have been prayed over, I'm sure, are going to do amazing things. So just
Well, it was
wanna-
my daughter's birthday on Sunday.
Oh, happy birthday, Mitzi.
And I called and I said, "So what did your kids get you?" Reese, I hope you can show that picture of the fish.
She got a fish?
Well, my grandson.
goldfish?
They went, wait till you see this. They went fishing. There it is.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is that?
Sea bass.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet he would be delicious on the grill.
I bet he would be too, but I'm not going to fly there and find out.
That's lovely. Good job. Well, I hope they had that for dinner.
So that was fun. So she had a good day. But
Happy birthday.
yeah.
That's amazing. What else is going on?
Well, I can't believe I have a daughter 59 years old.
Yeah. That's sometimes, or, age is just a number.
I know, but I can remember my mother saying, "You're not 60." I thought, yeah, I am.
It's all good.
So, but no, it was fun.
It's all good. Well, it has just been all about keeping cool. We had
Yeah.
Elevation Church at Hope House on Saturday. It's Love Week. So they've kicked off Love Week. So they did a little slip and slide, water balloon, hot dog
Oh,
thing for the
good.
kids out there. And I'll tell you, I have never been so hot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally uncomfortable hot.
Yeah,
out.
it is. It's unbearing.
Yeah, it really is. And this is probably what it feels like on the surface of the sun, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like I said, I was able to go to Sister Hazel that night, and I couldn't wait to get home to get a shower. Just so hot out there, but it feels a little better. And I understand this weekend cooler weather is on the way.
Yes,
So
it is.
I always think about our neighbors when the weather changes or when we have these extreme temperatures of what they must be going through. So I always live with that every day, thinking, don't complain. You got it pretty good.
Well, I think rain's coming on the way, and it should be cooler tomorrow.
Awesome. So when we come back from break, Margi's going to be introducing our 2 fabulous guests. I have been well entertained by one of them who has versed me in a lot of technology. And I think if you have any questions, you can always call in at 844-STUDIO-4. Israel is here to answer your tech
I
questions.
know. That's why we
certain
love
of it.
grandchildren
We
so
have
much.
a new camera being debuted here, and Mr. Heath is going to tell us all about his mission and what he does, and hopefully how you get involved. So stay with us, and we come back. You're listening to Community Centered here on 105.9. See you soon.
Good news lives here. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, I've got good news and bad news. I'll give you the bad news first. We've still got the tough heat to deal with for a couple of more days. High temperatures this afternoon on the way to around 100. And it feels like temperatures back in that 105 to 110 range. Most of us will stay dry, just a low chance of an isolated storm. But the good news is that we get toward the weekend. We see a big cool down, highs around 80 for Saturday and Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. The Piedmont Healthcare Friday After 5 outdoor concert series returns to downtown Statesville. Y2K Kids brings a tribute show to the 2000s of pop and rock music. The band covers artists like Bruno Mars, Kelly Clarkson, Lady Gaga, and more. This free concert will be held on West Broad Street in front of Mitchell Community College beginning at 6 p.m. Beer, wine, soft drinks, and food will be available for purchase beginning at 5. Bring your chairs and enjoy a night of music with Friday After 5 in downtown Statesville. The 500 Club in Statesville presents Member Happy Hour on Friday. Members receive one complimentary drink ticket. Member Happy Hour is every first Friday in the courtyard, weather permitting. Visit the 500 Club online for more information on the Victory Lane Sports Bar and Grill, tea times, and live entertainment. Downtown Mooresville presents a mashup event of music and food on Saturday. The Festival of Food Trucks begins at 5 p.m. along Main Street. Plus, Liberty Park welcomes 38 Special to the amphitheater. Saturday will be big in downtown Mooresville with the Festival of Food Trucks on Main Street and the 38 Special concert at Liberty Park. Sparks will fly as the metal-mashing 2,000 horsepower machines of the Cookout Monster Truck Bash return to the dirt track at Charlotte for a night of high-flying action. Bring a Cookout Cup for free early access to the pit party beginning at 4:30 p.m. Gates open at 5, while opening ceremonies are at 7. Click on charlottemotorspeedway.com for Monster Truck Bash tickets, information on the pit party and ride-alongs, as well as other Speedway events. Stay up to date and find out about local events, job opportunities, real estate information, and more. Visit liveworkplaylkn.com and sign up for the weekly newsletter. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawfirm.com.
Real people making a real impact. The McIntosh Law Firm brings you Community Centered, right here on WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back to WSIC News Talk Now. If you have a nonprofit or doing something spectacular in the community, which I know a lot of you are, we would love to hear from you. Call Reese at 844-STUDIO-4 and give him your name and I will contact you. We're now booking obviously into August and September, and it's filling up fast, but we would love to give you that opportunity. I have never been more proud to introduce our guests today.
I agree.
And I've heard about it for years with Wes Chafflin. And he donates food and he goes down. And I'm sure all of you out there have heard of Watchmen of the Streets, which is a homeless outreach of Habitat Ministry. And we have Dr. Reverend Ryan Heath Burchett. And you are CEO, executive producer, Pulpit Supply. I want to find out what that is. Motivational speaker, which I'm sure you are. We met at a nonprofit meeting, and I love what you're doing. I want to find out more how we can help, how others can help. And you also brought your son, Israel, who's 13 years old. I was going to say young, but you're...
Happy birthday.
You are
Just had a
such
birthday.
an educated young man already. Youth leader and creator, I can't talk today, Beans and Things. What is that all about?
Well, it's just a thing where I have canned goods and a bunch of like just stuff that, they can have that isn't like hot and they can have it. So I just have my own section for that because, the trailer pretty packed with everyone in it. So I serve on the back of the truck bed. I used to actually serve in the trailer, but now I serve back there and a lot of people love it.
Good. Now, what was your main passion starting this?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us on, Debbie and Margie. You are all wonderful, and it's just great to hear what you're doing and hear your story. So, first of all, it's an honor to be on this show. So, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So, yeah, back in 2013 is kind of when the Watchmen of the Streets homeless outreach
Wow.
originated. And I was actually a youth pastor, family pastor at Bethel Presbyterian Church here in
Okay.
Cornelius. And so I worked there for 4.5 years after coming off the mission field in Belize for 2.5 years, where we also worked with homeless and youth and where the nonprofit actually began. But as far as here, working with our homeless communities and seeing the need around us, that actually started in 2013. So when I was a youth pastor and family director, we took some teenagers out into Charlotte to start helping the homeless. And I found this place called the Free Store. I don't think it exists anymore, but it was a place where people could go and they could get free clothes. And we went and did breakfast, and the kids did devotionals and things like that. And so I began to meet with some of these people that were experiencing homelessness, and the kids really enjoyed it. And I exchanged phone numbers with this one guy. And from there, I took this guy out to eat to lunch one day and kind of heard his story. And his mom's house burned down in a fire. He couldn't afford a place to stay because he was staying with his mom. However, he was an RN at the hospital, and he was dressed to the hilt. I mean, he went to work every day. He had his folded clothes up all beside his tent. He lived in the woods. I couldn't
Wow.
believe it. I'd
Yeah.
never seen, because I was used to seeing poverty being in a third world country. And then when I came here, I'm like, I know there's need. And we all have needs and inner needs and different types of things, but I never really saw the type of poverty that, I guess I had experienced when I was living in Belize. And then by meeting this one guy, he opened up this whole world to me of, as I started getting him some supplies and things that he needed, but mainly he was cooking and giving out to other people that lived under bridges inside the woods in these encampments in places where I didn't even know existed, because back in 2013 there was a lot more wooded areas and a lot more trees.
Yeah.
And so now, it's more out there. But back then it was really hidden, and I just found these hidden communities after hidden communities, all these people suffering in silence, and started asking people for help. And it became a worldwide nonprofit after that. So
Yeah.
we started in this area. So that's kind of how we got started. And one of the unique things is that I'm so thankful for all the outreaches and ministries that exist in different levels and capacities of reaching people that are homeless in transition, families, mothers, children, all of that. But the cool thing is that we take teams and go to where people live in their suffering, in the heat, without any place to lay their head, and deliver things and items, tangible items, things that they need, that they can't get. A lot of places don't provide those things. So we're able to go to them, build relationships, and then work with other nonprofits and plug them into different resources instead of reinventing something
That's
or
right.
trying to have a facility. We're kind of the mobile connectors.
Well, as Debbie and I've always said, I've never lived in a community where nonprofits help each other the way they do here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Heath, for those people that are listening that might not understand your work or really have a handle on what an outreach looks like, I live it. I know it because I've been there myself. But what does that look like from your perspective?
Right. So again, there's so many. I mean, I guess it was probably just a month or two ago. I mean, it's still bad, but it was really bad. I can remember it was like 50 people right outside. I won't mention outside of one of the facilities. There was like 50 men and women that had no pillow. They had no blanket. They were right on the grass, right on the concrete, outside of the shelter because there's no room. there was no room in the shelter. And then the same way with also the shelter that we go to sometimes with the women and children. I mean, there's encampments and tents and women just sleeping outside waiting to get on the waiting list. So it's not so easy
I can't imagine.
like we think. And
Yeah.
so those people, they certainly need help. You know, it's easy to say, hey, why don't you try this place and why don't you try that place? Amen.
Yeah.
Let's go do that and let's get on the waiting list if there is one. Let's get the ball rolling. But it doesn't mean that we can just, that you can just get in without red tape. And I think that something that I began to see is it wasn't as easy as we all thought, or some of us
And if
thought.
you don't have a car and you don't have a
And-
phone and you don't have a computer,
Right. And so, I just to be able to deliver meals, people that are hungry, people that are either in the heat, in the cold. I have a lot of stories that, if we have time, but just providing basic, tangible needs, having human decency and taking care of people while they're on the streets. That's kind of our main purpose. I know that we all want to, especially when we take teams out, our hearts get involved. We want to see the best. We want to solution everybody. So that's one thing I've had to kind of move away from, is that we're a part of the solution, but we are not the solution. We're there to love. We're there to provide needs, build relationships, and wherever that leads, hopefully that leads to a long-lasting change.
We've served with you before, Heath, and I think one of the things that you do extraordinarily well is dignity. I think there are some people that hear about homelessness and they want to do one of two things, right? How do I get involved? How do I fix it? And what the reality is. So when someone comes down and they're serving with you alongside of you, it's like, well, we got to do this and we got to do this. And you have a beautiful way of protecting the integrity of the individual, that is their home and their sacred space. So there's a certain curiosity for those of us that have never seen it before, right? When you go into a homeless camp, they're like, well, we can do this and we can do that. And you're like, this is someone's home. So we need to be respectful of it.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure that we're asking the right questions and praying for them. And you do such a beautiful job of that. So how do you do that? So, running a non-for-profit, right? We're always selling our mission and talking about it and telling people what it is and how they can help. But you have a bigger outreach mission of being able to protect what you've seen, who they are, and how you actually serve alongside them. Talk to us about that. How do you serve?
Yeah. So again, well, first of all, I'll tell you a little bit in front of that, and we'll put that on hold.
We'll come back from break and we'll do that. We'll give you a shorter question then.
there we go. I brought some more in here.
Oh, Margi's pulling out all kinds of tricks. Are these for Heath?
Yep.
Oh, you're going to have some loveys to take back
And I've
with
got
you.
many, many more. So.
Oh, this is just an example of how our community comes
Here,
alongside
you can
of
give
each other.
that one to one of your little friends there.
There you go. How amazing is that? Well, we are listening to Heath Burchett with Watchmen of the Street, a homeless outreach mission, and his fabulous son, Israel. When we come back from break, again, if you need to call 844-STUDIO-4, this show is going to fly.
I know.
So we're going to try to get as many questions in so we can get them answered. But please stay tuned. We are coming back shortly from break here on Community Centered.
Spotlight and kindness, one story at a time. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle, presented by the McIntosh Law Firm on WSIC.
Well, I've got good news and bad news. So I'll give you the bad news first. We've still got the tough heat to deal with for a couple of more days. High temperatures this afternoon on the way to around 100. And it feels like temperatures back in that 105 to 110 range. Most of us will stay dry, just a low chance of an isolated storm. But the good news is that we get toward the weekend. We see a big cool down, highs around 80 for Saturday and Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Meteorologist Chase Myers.
You hear that? That's Mike sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawfirm.com.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Hey folks, you know Randy Marion is the king of price when it comes to buying a new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, but how about king of price when it comes to the service department? Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, Randy Marion Ford Lincoln in Statesville has you covered on tires, brakes, batteries, wipers, you name it. Any service you need on your vehicle, regardless of the make or model, come see Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville Service Department or Randy Marion Ford Lincoln Service Department today.
Need a ride? iCats has you covered. Tuesdays to the VA in Salisbury, Thursday to Winston-Salem, and Fridays to Hickory. Plus, run errands every day around Iredell County for just $1. Visit rideicats.com.
LKN Love Delivered. Show off your love for Lake Norman with unique lake apparel, home decor, and other gifts from LKN Local. Made by locals, for locals. They even hand deliver their quality products to select zip codes. Shop lkn-local.com today.
If you need home medical equipment, call Lowry Drug in Statesville. We have everything you need in stock, including portable oxygen concentrators, CPAPs, masks, lift chairs, wheelchairs, scooters, hospital beds, supplies, and anything else you need. Get it when you need it. Check out LowryDrug.com or call 704-873-2247. Lowry Drug, your hometown source since 1959, across from Iredell Memorial Hospital. We are worth the drive. Come see us.
ADHD isn't the problem. Tired of hearing sit still and try harder? Maybe the issue isn't your child. It's the outdated approach. The book Extinguishing Einstein empowers parents and teachers with proven ADHD strategies. Get your free copy by scanning the code in Lake Norman Woman Magazine's August issue.
#1 for talk in Lake Norman, Statesville.
105.9, 100.7, WSIC.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. For a fourth straight month, home price growth has decelerated. The CoreLogic Case-Shiller Index shows prices rose 2.3% in May from a year earlier. That was the smallest increase since July of 2023, and it follows a 2.7% annual increase in April. Among 20 major cities, New York had the largest annual home price gain at 7.4%. Prices grew the slowest in Tampa, where they fell by 2.4%. Even the highest earning Americans are having trouble paying their bills. VantageScore took a look and found the delinquency rate for those making at least $150,000 a year is up 20% over the past 2 years. It reinforces the finding of a recent Fed study that found the share of people making late credit card payments in the highest income zip codes has risen twice as much over the last year as those in the lowest income brackets. Stocks are down between 0.1% I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
Who is this? This is 105.9, 100.7.
WSIC. Local starts here.
Shining a light on who's making a difference. It's Community Centered, hosted by Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back. You're listening to Community Centered, where our guests are amazing. These breaks is where we get all the information and all the goods. And Israel's telling us all about his light show that he does for Christmas and in his office where he sets all this up. So we're going to get to you in just a minute. But I want to get back to Heath and ask that question about the dignity and the relationship piece of it. Because we at Hope House have a very special story of a woman that we rescued off the streets who had lived there for 12 years. And she came to Hope House and transformed her life, and she's in her own home and blah, blah, blah. But it took 3 years to build that relationship, to create that safe space with her so that she could trust us enough in order to believe that we really said what we were going to do. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about that. What does that look like?
Yeah, that's a good question, Debbie. I mean, trust is really how we built the entire Watchmen of the Streets homeless outreach.
Yeah.
Someone has to feel like they can count on you, that you have their best interest in mind, that you care about them, all of those things. To really be able to help someone, that's important, just almost anyone in life, especially those that have become a little bit untrusting of society and have been outcast and shunned and things like that.
Yeah.
And to really see some type of lasting change, those relationships are important. And so one way to betray that trust would be to, kind of out their location of where they're staying, because that is considered their home, whether it's a tent, under the bridge, wherever they have their belongings there, they can get stolen from. If it gets out on, I know a lot of people are curious on Facebook, and I don't think it's malicious or anything. People just are like, wow, where do these people live? Where exactly do they live? I'm like, oh, well, we don't really need to know that, do we?
Right.
But what it does sometimes is, even with the point in time count and things, I know that we're counting people so that we can get grants and helps and all this stuff. I understand all that, but at the same time, we have to be careful, because when we violate trust and we disclose certain locations of people, then a lot of times in a week, they get cleared out. They're gone. And, they're always trespassing. People are trespassing, whether they're on private property, city property, CSX Railroad, wherever they are. It's not, they didn't buy it. They didn't purchase it. So, it's really tough, especially when people have to move around a lot. And it's hard enough out there already. But one thing that I see as it's a beautiful thing when people from all walks of life and the lawyer, the banker, the whoever goes out and becomes a friend with someone experiencing homelessness, and they start talking and find out that they're from the same hometown, or they like the same baseball team, or what they, sometimes we don't think we have those connections. How can I approach someone that's homeless? And you're like, they're just a human being.
Right.
And you can find common ground with people. And it's like those relationships have done so much, because within our teams, people will have resources, or I know where you can get help with this or this or this.
Yeah.
And due to those, we've been able to not force, but people have asked us for help. So we've been able to get people into rehabs. We've rescued a couple women literally out of human trafficking with places to stay and counseling. My father has been able to move probably 40 to 50 people off the streets in the past 2 years and deliver all their furnitures to their new apartment. And so, that's not always the outcome, but it's a beautiful part. And that is all a part of that, building a relationship, dignity, and all of those things. Without that, we don't have as much impact. And I would say, so just a little bit, if someone was kind of looking at what more does it look like for a night that when we go out as an outreach, that anybody want to be a part of that, we welcome that, and we go out every first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. in Charlotte, and we meet at 2424 North Davidson Street, and we gather together. And so the first Tuesday of every month, we have 7 Lake Norman area restaurants that give us some wonderful, amazing meals.
And who are those 7?
And so, it kind of started, it did start with Wes Choplin from Choplin Steak and Seafood. And that relationship, I found out that Wes and I went to the same high school. And then after that, Nelson from the Blue Star Grill, that I became really good friends with over at Bethel. He had this whole thing on his heart to get as many restaurants as he could to be a part of this, to go feed people that are hungry and families that are hungry. So we have the Blue Star Grill from Mooresville, Choplin's and Cornelius, Pomodoros from Mooresville, the famous Toastery from Mooresville, Tacos for Life, Mooresville, Fresh Chef Cornelius, and Mia Michi's from Mooresville. And those are some of the best restaurants, I mean, in the Lake Norman area. We're not just handing out meals, we're handing out wonderful quality.
Yeah.
I mean, people are beside themselves. So, you know, that shows love in itself of what we get to pull from this area. And when people sense and see what quality and what types of meals it is, you know, and we get such a plethora of things that is such a blessing. And then the third Tuesday of the month is when we really focus on the items. So we do the tents and tarps and sleeping bags and batteries and flashlights, whatever it might be.
Sunscreen.
Bug sprays, canned goods, you know.
Water bottles.
Water bottles, all of that. So we do that twice a month in Charlotte. You can just make it easy and go to watchmenofthestreets.com and click on volunteer, and we can plug you in. My dad also runs our Winston-Salem division, so we do the same thing there. Not the meals, only the supplies, every other Saturday at 9 a.m. And then now, due to the Peninsula Club and something we've been thinking about for a while, we're going to be more also involved maybe with some people in transition on the verge of homelessness and doing some more local things here in our Lake Norman area as well that goes under the radar. So really excited about that and hope people will get involved. Yeah.
So your dad is involved in the ministry, and obviously Israel is involved. So this is a family, a family commitment.
Thing, yes.
And I got to say, Heath, you've done something right here with this young man because he's extremely intelligent and very entertaining. But Israel, from your perspective, what's it like to do these outreaches with your dad? Or maybe not even just with your dad, but just doing them in general. You've started your own outreach with Beans and Things, but what does it mean to you? You're 13. What does that mean?
I think it's just all about helping the homeless because, like, not everyone will have a home. You know, some people maybe just can't afford. So it's just one great act of kindness to help.
How does that make you feel?
Very great, actually.
What would you say? You're going to get ready to start a new school year, so you're going to be meeting new friends. What would you say to a friend who doesn't know anything about homelessness? What would you say?
I would say, if you can, ask your parents and come out with me for a night and just,
That's right.
you know, help me with the homeless.
Incredible.
And observe. Yeah.
And when you've served and you go home that night, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel like that's one more person that has like food or water or something like that.
Well, that's incredible, and you are an incredible soul, and you're going to do amazing things in this world. And I think you've been raised right by your dad. And because I've been out on these surf outreaches with you, and I've seen you in action. You don't know that. I've seen you at the back of the truck, and you are chucking cans at people and getting as much stuff to them as you possibly can because it's important to you. And you have that same dignity and grace about you that your dad does. And that is such beautiful qualities in a human being. So thank you for being that person and being that available to our houseless neighbors because it's important. And I appreciate that. We are going to go on another break. We are flying through. When we come back, we are talking with two fine gentlemen from Watchmen of the Streets. We'll be right back here on Community Centered.
Good news lives here. It's community centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, I've got good news and bad news. I'll give you the bad news first. We've still got the tough heat to deal with for a couple of more days. High temperatures this afternoon on the way to around 100. And it feels like temperatures back in that 105 to 110 range. Most of us will stay dry, just a low chance of an isolated storm. But the good news is that we get toward the weekend. We see a big cool down, highs around 80 for Saturday and Sunday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. The Piedmont Healthcare Friday After 5 outdoor concert series returns to downtown Statesville. Y2K Kids brings a tribute show to the 2000s of pop and rock music. The band covers artists like Bruno Mars, Kelly Clarkson, Lady Gaga, and more. This free concert will be held on West Broad Street in front of Mitchell Community College beginning at 6 p.m. Beer, wine, soft drinks, and food will be available for purchase beginning at 5. Bring your chairs and enjoy a night of music with Friday After 5 in downtown Statesville. The 500 Club in Statesville presents Member Happy Hour on Friday. Members receive one complimentary drink ticket. Member Happy Hour is every first Friday in the courtyard, weather permitting. Visit the 500 Club online for more information on the Victory Lane Sports Bar and Grill, tea times, and live entertainment. Downtown Mooresville presents a mashup event of music and food on Saturday. The Festival of Food Trucks begins at 5 p.m. along Main Street. Plus, Liberty Park welcomes 38 Special to the amphitheater. Saturday will be big in downtown Mooresville with the Festival of Food Trucks on Main Street and the 38 Special concert at Liberty Park. Sparks will fly as the metal-mashing 2,000 horsepower machines of the Cookout Monster Truck Bash return to the dirt track at Charlotte for a night of high-flying action. Bring a Cookout Cup for free early access to the pit party beginning at 4:30 p.m. Gates open at 5, while opening ceremonies are at 7. Click on CharlotteMotorspeedway.com for Monster Truck Bash tickets, information on the pit party and ride-alongs, as well as other Speedway events. Stay up to date and find out about local events, job opportunities, real estate information, and more. Visit liveworkplaylkn.com and sign up for the weekly newsletter. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawfirm.com.
Real people making a real impact. The McIntosh Law Firm brings you community-centered, right here on WSIC. Local starts here.
This hour has just flown by. And if you have a question, you have a few minutes to call in, but you better hurry. Let's hit a couple main things. Do you have a wonderful story that might inspire people?
I have a lot of wonderful stories.
I know you do.
And it's a beautiful thing, you know.
And we need to have you back because this is so important to what.
Sure, I'd love to.
Phase
Thank
one.
you so much.
Yes.
So I guess I'll start with one of the most impactful for me, and many of people that know about Watchmen of the Streets, they know who I'm talking about, and he doesn't mind me using his name. His name is Ray Shore. He was on our first homeless documentary movie. Actually, it was on our second one, but our second one, he was actually as a volunteer and not someone being helped. So he's one of our success stories.
Good.
He's someone I would consider a best friend. And who would have thought that I would meet this guy like 10 to 13 years ago and serve him under the bridge, build a relationship.
Yeah.
And then even when he was under the bridge, he wanted to volunteer to go and hand out things with our group to other people that were staying outside like he was. He just wanted something to do, wanted to give back. And so he did that, and he did that for years, and then he finally got off the street. He's a caregiver for his father. And then it's like 10 years later, he wanted to go on a mission trip to Belize where we started our nonprofit. I wasn't sure that was really going to be able to happen. He got a passport. In 2 weeks, he raised enough money to fly to a foreign country.
Wow.
And
You talking about your son?
No. This guy, Ray, under the bridge, that became my best friend, he was my roommate in Belize, helping the homeless in another country.
Beautiful.
And I say from the bridge to Belize, you know. So like stuff like that, that's just
That's
wow.
360.
That's a God thing.
Yeah.
And so also, you know, I know people like to help out in the cold. There's this guy I remember we went under the bridge one night, and there's this huge guy, just big guy, and he's rocking back and forth. And I wasn't sure what was wrong with him. It was super cold. I think it was like 19 degrees. And we found out that he had gone to work. He didn't get into room in the inn before they closed. And he came back, and whether it was the city or the railroad or whoever it was, all of his stuff was cleaned out. So all of his coat, all this stuff that he slept in, the things to keep him warm, were gone. And he was crying out to God and praying as he was rocking back and forth, asking God for help. And then our team showed up, and we had everything he needed plus more than what he had to begin with. And this guy just melted and started bawling his eyes out. And he said, "God heard my prayer." And we all just started crying, you know. And he was just saying, "It's too much. You've done enough. You've done enough," you know. And so, like, when people say that, "Oh, so you're just out there handing out a bunch of free stuff." No, we're helping save lives.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
Yes.
It's way deeper than just handing things out. And if we are, it still makes a difference.
You're
and
handing out hope.
Yeah. So, you know, and those are interventions. Those are divine. All of those things. And you know, there's so many stories. One of our friends, Justine, she's a year sober, and she's doing well now, and came out of a program. And then also there was this guy that was way back in the woods. I mean, he was probably 2 miles back in the woods, and I almost gave up and didn't continue on the trail. And then I heard yelling out of this tent, and what had happened was this guy had broken his shoulder, and he was yelling for water. He had no water. He had nothing inside the tent. He could barely even unzip it with a finger, and he had to go to the hospital. And nobody knew he was back there suffering. So, you know, I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to take teams out and to be able to do what we do, and
That's right.
and to invite people to come and do this with us, because it takes a lot. It really does.
What are the top 5 items you need to serve on the street with?
So definitely tents. That'd be one of our higher price items, and you know, it keeps people safer from the elements and makes people feel protected and keep their belongings nice. So tents, tarps, sleeping bags, and then probably like bug spray, pillows, hand warmers, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and if someone wanted to donate, how would they get in touch with you?
So watchmenofthestreets.com is the easiest just to remember. And so
and Israel, if someone wants to get in touch with you or know about your blog, what is such said blog?
It's a blog where I say like what's happening and like this, Watchmen night and stuff about like who is who and like who's coming and stuff.
So yeah, how would someone find you?
They can go to my website, which is israel0720.com.
Say that slower.
Yeah.
israel0720.com/beans.
Okay.
Cute.
And are you taking donations for canned goods or things that are non-perishable?
I'm not, but you could donate them to my dad.
Okay.
So then I'll get them.
Okay. So someone could reach out to your dad through the website and get them to you so that the next time you're serving, you could be doing your outreach with beans and things.
Yes.
Okay. You got it. Wow. I'm just blown away by what you're doing. I'm humbled by being in your dad's presence because I've seen him serve. I see what he does. These are neighbors to him. These are friends to him. These are people that matter.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when we're in the homeless world, people think that you're just giving out handouts, right? And blah, blah, blah. No, you're giving out hope. You're giving out dignity. And the thing about our houseless neighbors is they're not asking for money because money can't fix what's broken about them. What they're asking for is your relationship, your love, your prayers, your peace. And I think you have an overabundance of that, Heath. And I thank you on behalf of our community for serving in that way because you do it with such grace and dignity and you're just free to give it away. And I've seen you in the camps where you walk in and you're like, brother, like everybody just, it's like you're being with Superman because they all come running, not for money, not for anything else, but for your relationship. And I think that is what I really want people to take away about your mission is how you are serving. And it's truly, truly mission focused and a true outreach. It's not easy work to do. And so we know that we need our community praying for you, praying for your protection, praying for your deliverance, praying for you to get all the resources and donations that you need to continue because homelessness is not going away. And I know it's a statistic and a number that gets counted for federal reasons and everything, but last I heard, we're up by about 30% in Charlotte homelessness.
Wow.
And it's staggering to know the amount of children, too, that are living homeless in our community. These are our neighbors. And we are all charged with lifting our neighbors up in need because our neighbors will in turn lift us up when we need it, just like your friend Ray. So well done for what you do for our community. And I hope that folks reach out to you asking how they can volunteer, how they can donate. I hope Miss Margi blesses you with millions of little stuffed babies that will multiply so that you can reach children in need because that's hard to hear about kids.
And I don't have time to play with all these animals.
I know. I'll never forget one of the first camps I went into was right after Christmas, and there was a small Christmas tree inside of it. Now picture the woods, muddy, dark, cold, sticks everywhere, cans everywhere, and there was a little tiny Christmas tree with baby shoes underneath it. And when we met the family that was there, she said, that's all we needed. That's all we wanted is to have baby shoes for our kids. So think about that sometimes when we're not finding the right parking spot or we're too hot outside or our bellies aren't hungry, that there are people in our community that are hungry, that need us. And not for anything, you can always pray for them because there's a great need in our community. Epidemic. In my eyes.
Yep.
So we need all the resources and all the people that we can coming alongside of it. And kudos to Peninsula Community Foundation.
Yes.
I think Giving with Grace Foundation, I think you've gotten some funds from her as well. All the funds, all the people need to be sinking into you so that you can continue to do the marvelous work that you do. That is not easy. And you, sir, you as well. We need some canned good drives. I've already got some ideas on how we can.
I do too. I'm going to go clean my shelves.
Yeah, how we can get you some beans and things for our neighbors in needs. What do you say about that?
Thanks.
Any parting words you'd like to leave us with, Smart Israel?
Not really.
No?
No.
No words of wisdom?
No.
No?
World peace.
There you go. We do want world peace. That would be helpful. That would take care of a lot of our problems if we could have some world peace for sure. But you've been a delight as well as your dad. Heath, do you want to leave us with any words of wisdom, anything hopeful?
Well, of course I do. Just encourage you to everyone, all of us, to always look at. Just look for ways to help and to be a blessing into lives, no matter who they are or what they do. You know, we always have a chance to get back to our communities and to be a blessing. And you don't know what's going on inside of lives.
That's right.
And, it's easy to judge a book by its cover sometimes, but there's a lot more to it. And it's a privilege to get to know another human being and see what kind of impact you can really make in someone's life.
That's right.
Get out of judgment and get into
Someone
grace.
might be waiting all day just to hear a couple words from you.
Well, you've been a delight, and we wish you all the blessings going forward from now until forever to do what you guys do. Thank you so much for being a guest here on Community Centered. And Miss Margi, you stay cool and have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville,